So it's lovely to speak to you today, Derek, and to hear about the fact that you're back in Panto, because this isn't your first rodeo, is it? It's not your first Panto, is it?
No.
Goodness, no.
No, it must be about 35 or 40.
And does it still feel exciting? Do you still look forward to it?
Yeah, theatre's always exciting because the fear of failure is always there, knocking on your shoulder, and a new audience, I've not worked this theatre before, so yeah, it is exciting.
And the last thing I saw you in, we were talking about this before, was Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which was in the West End. And one of the many reasons why I thought it was so fantastic was the fact that it was an all-black cast.
Absolutely.
And that still is such a big deal over here, isn't it?
Yes.
That's still unusual.
Yes, of course it's unusual. It's unfortunate that we can't do more. I mean, you know, there's a Black Theatre Dance of Harlem, and it doesn't just seem to happen. I mean, look, things are a lot better than they were. A lot better than they were. And I'm looking forward to it getting better.
Yeah. And I think as well that people growing up seeing you on the TV, so, you know, people of my generation will remember you as being a presenter on children's TV. And it is that if you have to see it to be it, idiom, isn't it? That if you don't see what you want to be growing up, and Floella Benjamin has talked about this a lot, saying that for a lot of the children who watched her on TV, they hadn't seen a black person before.
No, that's right.
So does that feel like something that are you aware of that as being a legacy of yours?
I wasn't aware of it at the time. I'm aware of it more now, when the audience that I had have now grown into adulthood and are coming up to me and saying, you know, you were the only person that I used to want to watch because you were black. Luckily, they thought I was all right. I mean, I thought they were going to say, well, you know, you were black and you were rubbish. But that didn't happen. So, no, I'm humbled by the fact that people keep saying that. Yeah.
And just the diverse range of what you've done, because obviously some people will sort of be remembering you from kids' TV, but the fact that you've done the full range of theatre as well, and that you've had such a long career is testament to the fact that you weren't rubbish, obviously.
Yes, I've been very fortunate. But not only just black people, but I mean, when I was at the Royal Shakespeare Company in Stratford-on-Avon doing Twelfth Night, and I had people at the stage door, young 17-year-old white teenagers saying, we saw you in Play School, we wanted to see what you do with Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So that's great, isn't it? You open up the door and let, you know, Pandora's box and look inside. You know, because when I was a kid, I thought it was an elitist thing, theatre.
Yeah.
I remember travelling all the way up on my motor scooter to Stratford-on-Avon to see a production with a friend of mine, and we saw people going in from their Rolls Royces in dinner jackets, all in DJs and things. We got on the scooters and went home. We thought we've got no place here. How sad is that? That was a tragedy. And things aren't so elitist now. So, you know, and the fact that every time I do a pantomime, young kids are there in the audience for the first time, going to theatre rather than sitting in front of a game or a TV. They're in live theatre, and we hope that through osmosis that continues their excuse me, their admiration for theatre and to follow it through.
Absolutely. I think for a lot of families, pantomime is the first time everyone will have gone to theatre together.
Well, it was mine.
Yeah.
It was mine.
And it is a truly family experience, isn't it? This is there is something for the youngest and also for the adults in the audience too. That's the thing that I've always found. I mean, I take my children to maybe 3 or 4 pantos in the year, and they love it because there are the things you know are going to happen. There are the things that are the same in every panto, but then there's also something for grown-ups as well, because obviously you've got children in the audience, but you've also got the people that brought them here.
Well, that's the joy, isn't it? It is entertaining the adults and entertaining the children. Chaplin had it. It was a gift he had. He could make an adult cry. He could make an adult laugh along with the children at the same time. That Chaplin-esque quality is there in pantomime for us all to enjoy.
Yeah. And for you, doing this production and doing this particular, you're in a different place, you're doing a different show. How do you keep it fresh and exciting for you?
It's a good question. You cross your fingers and hope for the best. I don't actually worry too much about that. I think if you go into it, in a sort of a virginal way, that it all works out in the end. And I think it's like comedy. To make an audience laugh, they have to believe the situation is happening. There has to be truth. And if that truth is there, then that's not a problem, If you hurt your hand by putting an iron on it, you act as though you are in pain. The audience will fall about on the floor laughing. If you don't do it well enough, you lose the laugh. Yeah. So it's there.
Yeah. And of all the things that you've done, and you've had an extensive career, what are the things that you've enjoyed the most, or that you felt most proud of?
Oh, I think theatre, definitely. Yes. Because theatre is a huge hill to climb. After your first day at rehearsal, is it going to work? Am I going to be on top of it? It's the fear of failure, quite honestly. And when you get through and you get to the other end without falling into the safety net, mind you, I say safety net, when you work in theatre, there is no safety net.
Yeah.
It's a long way to fall. That's what I enjoy the most, really.
Yeah.
Is making it work.
And having people right there in front of you, getting an immediate reaction.
Yes, and hearing their reaction. I did a play a couple of years ago, Driving Miss Daisy, and it was full of pathos and emotion. And for the first time in my life, I heard people weeping in the first 3 rows when I was feeding this aged lady her evening meal. And you heard people weeping, and that had such an effect on me. Really did. And, the curtain went up and we all took our bow, and you saw people wiping their eyes. How wonderful is that?
Yeah.
There's the truth.
Yeah.
Working.
There's something very beautiful about art being able to depict something that's too hard to look at otherwise.
Yes.
And giving you that experience of something that you wouldn't necessarily have otherwise as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So is there something left for you that you haven't done yet that you really want to do? No, I can't think of anything, really. But then if you'd have asked me that 20 years ago, I'd have told you the same thing. Yeah.
The phone rings and you say, yes, I'll come and play.
Yeah.
That's the joy of that,
Yeah.
is you don't know what's going to be around the corner from one week to the next. So, no, I mean, a lot of people will say, well, I'd love to play Hamlet, I'd love to play Lear. I don't have those dreams. I'm just a jobbing actor, basically.
Well, I did go and see Ian McKellen as Hamlet recently, and everyone was saying, well, it's a very brave choice to play Hamlet in your 80s, but actually it's a play.
Yes.
There's no rule that says you have to be a young man to do it.
Absolutely. Well, females are playing it now.
Yeah.
Where's the rule?
Yeah.
There are no hard and fast edicts when it comes to theatre.
No. It's been lovely to speak to you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I look forward to coming to see the show.
Okay.
And I'm sure lots of other people will as well.
I hope so.
Thank you.
My thanks.